Let's face it, the English language is a funny thing, isn't it? It's spoken in so many different ways across the globe, each with its own quirks and charms. But there's something about British English, with its charming lilt and colourful expressions, that seems to capture the imagination. Maybe it's the legacy of British literature, or perhaps it's the enduring popularity of British films and TV shows. Whatever the reason, there's no denying that British English holds a special place in the world of language. Imagine being able to follow along with a witty British sitcom without needing subtitles, or effortlessly chatting with locals in a London pub. Beyond that, mastering British English can add a touch of sophistication and flair to your own speech. It's like adding a dash of spice to your vocabulary, making your conversations more engaging and memorable. So whether you're a seasoned language enthusiast or just starting to dip your toes into the vast ocean of English, come along with me on this journey as we explore the wonderful world of British phrases. Now let's start with the basics, shall we? Greetings. It's how we acknowledge each other, break the ice, and set the tone for any interaction. And in Britain, we take our greetings rather seriously, you see. Forget the casual hey or what's up. We Brits prefer a more polite and charming approach. First up, we have the classic hello or good morning/afternoon/evening. Simple, straightforward, and always appropriate, no matter the setting. But for a true taste of Britishness, try throwing in a how do you do? Don't be fooled by the question mark. It's not an actual inquiry about your well-being. It's simply a formal greeting, often used in more formal settings. Now, if you want to sound particularly British, try a good show or jolly good after someone tells you something positive. And remember, a simple cheers can go a long way. Now, go forth and greet your fellow humans with a touch of British flair. Now that we've mastered the art of greetings, let's move on to those everyday phrases that pepper British conversations. These are the expressions that add colour and nuance to our language, making it so wonderfully unique. For instance, you'll rarely hear a Brit say you're welcome after someone thanks them. Instead, we're more likely to offer a cheerful, you're very welcome, or a simple, not at all. And speaking of thanking, we Brits are a grateful bunch, always eager to express our appreciation. So don't be surprised if you hear a chorus of cheers or ta throughout the day. And while we're on the subject of informality, let's talk about mate. Ah, mate, that versatile little word that signifies camaraderie and familiarity. So there you have it, a glimpse into the wonderful world of everyday British phrases. Now let's delve into the curious world of British colloquialisms, those peculiar expressions that often leave non-native speakers scratching their heads. Take, for instance, the phrase Bob's your uncle. It's a whimsical way of saying there you go, or it's as simple as that. No one's quite sure where it originated, but it's been a staple of British English for generations. Then there's mind your P's and Q's, a stern reminder to behave oneself and be on one's best behaviour. And speaking of manners, no exploration of British colloquialisms would be complete without mentioning chin up. This cheerful expression is our way of offering encouragement and urging someone to stay positive in the face of adversity. These colloquialisms, as baffling as they may seem at first, are an integral part of what makes British English so unique and endearing. Now, let's step into a quintessential British setting, the social gathering. Whether it's a pub quiz, a dinner party, or a casual chat at the bus stop, there are certain phrases that'll help you navigate these interactions with ease and authenticity. Imagine you're at a pub, and someone asks, "What are you having?" Don't just blurt out your drink order. Instead, try a polite, "I'll have a pint of bitter, please." And if you're feeling peckish, remember that chips are what Americans call fries, and crisps are what Americans call chips. Got it? Good. Now let's say you're at a dinner party and your host offers you another helping of their delicious shepherd's pie. A simple, "Yes, please" will suffice. But for extra Britishness, try "I wouldn't say no" or "just a smidgen." So, there you have it, a few essential phrases to help you navigate the wonderful world of British social gatherings. Life, as we know, has its ups and downs, its moments of joy and its times of despair. And in those moments when someone we care about is feeling a bit down in the dumps, it's important to offer words of encouragement and support. British English, with its knack for colourful expressions, offers a wealth of phrases to do just that. Forget the generic cheer up. Instead, try a more empathetic keep your chin up, or a reassuring it'll be alright in the end. These phrases, while simple, convey a sense of understanding and optimism that can go a long way in lifting someone's spirits. And remember, sometimes the best way to offer support is simply to listen. Now let's face it, life isn't all sunshine and roses. There will be times when you're utterly bewildered, utterly flummoxed, or as the Brits might say, gobsmacked. And in those moments of confusion and frustration, it's helpful to have a few choice phrases at your disposal. Imagine, for instance, you're listening to someone explain something, and you haven't the faintest idea what they're on about. Instead of resorting to a simple "I don't understand," try a more expressive "I'm completely lost" or "You've lost me there." And if you want to add a touch of British exasperation, try "I haven't a clue what you're on about," or "This is all Greek to me." These phrases, while conveying your confusion, also add a touch of humour to the situation. One of the hallmarks of British culture is our tendency towards politeness, even when we're expressing disagreement. We're masters of the subtle art of disagreeing without being disagreeable, of offering our opinions without causing offence. So how do we do it? Well, it's all about choosing our words carefully and employing a healthy dose of tact. For instance, instead of bluntly stating "I disagree," try a more diplomatic "I see your point, but," or "I'm not sure I entirely agree." These phrases acknowledge the other person's perspective while still allowing you to express your own. And if you want to convey your disagreement more emphatically, try a classic British phrase like "That's not my cup of tea," or "I'm afraid I don't share your view." Remember, the British approach to disagreement is all about finding that delicate balance between honesty and courtesy. Now you might be thinking, all this is well and good, but how do I actually go about mastering these British phrases? Well, fear not, my friend, for I'm here to offer a few practical tips. Firstly, and perhaps most importantly, immerse yourself in the language. Listen to British music, watch British films and TV shows, and read British books and newspapers. The more you expose yourself to the language, the more natural it will become. Secondly, don't be afraid to practice speaking. Find a language partner, join a conversation group, or simply strike up conversations with native speakers whenever you get the chance. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become. Thirdly, pay attention to the nuances of pronunciation and intonation. British English is known for its distinct rhythm and flow, so listen carefully to how native speakers pronounce words and phrases. And lastly, don't be afraid to make mistakes. As we come to the end of our exploration of British phrases, I hope you've gained a newfound appreciation for the richness and diversity of the English language. Remember, language is more than just a means of communication. It's a window into different cultures, a way of connecting with people from all walks of life. So embrace the journey of learning British English, revel in its quirks and idiosyncrasies, and don't be afraid to use your newfound linguistic skills to strike up conversations, make new friends, and experience the world in a whole new way. Now go forth and spread the joy of British English.